Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
This team amazes me every time they take the diamond. They just beat, a couple games ago, the Miami Marlins in the 8th inning with Sandy on the mound, and we thought that was the most magnificent win of the season. And damn it, we were right, because in that particular time, it was. They go to the New York Mets. They don't have Kyle Schwarber, your leadoff guy that is clearly a veteran leader who, oh, by the way, destroys the Mets and can hit bombs too. So what does Rob Thompson elect to do with the lineup? This move, putting Bryson Stott in the leadoff position, that is the perfect way to describe who Rob Thompson is, because that was a phenomenal choice. That was the correct button pushed, and this dude sparked the entire squad. He gets on base. Listen to this statistic, okay? When it comes to Max Scherzer, which the way the Mets have their rotation set up, they should be in prime territory to do some massive damage. But oh, by the way, a man named Ranger Suarez delivers 7 earned runs. 7 earned runs. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run ball, and went toe-to-toe with Max. Okay, here's your stat. Bryson Stott is the first player to ever reach base 4 times in the same game against Max Scherzer. This team is just different. This team understands how to stay in the moment and keep grinding, and nothing is too big for them. You lose Kyle, but that's so big. And the Mets, throughout this one, you see the beat reporters for the Mets kind of confused on why guys are leaving the ball game. So both teams dealt with some weirdness. But Schwarber, it's crazy. Remember early in the season, this team had zero idea on what to do in the leadoff spot. Should you move Schwarber? He wasn't doing well. This was before his hot month, and then he started to wake up, and he clearly established himself as the guy. Whether you love a power bat there or not, whether you love what he brings to the table in the leadoff spot or not, because weirdly enough, there are some Phillies fans that I debate with consistently and on a daily basis that bring up the fact that they would rather him be more in that middle of the lineup than there. We were talking about hypotheticals on the radio today before we saw the lineup of what Rob Thompson could do. One of them was slot Gene Segura in the leadoff position. I brought up possibly putting Alec Boehm there because he's just been shredding, even though I can completely understand the logic of keeping him in the 3 position as well. So, there were so many things you could have done. If you went with Boehm and then had Segura and then maybe you slotted Nick Castellanos up there or Rhys Hoskins. See, here's the thing. I had zero idea on if Rhys Hoskins was even going to be in the lineup, because whenever Max Scherzer's on the mound, they never give him that chance. Prior to tonight's game, he was 1 for 26 against Max Scherzer with about 14 strikeouts or so. It has been definite whenever they played each other and Max Scherzer's nod was that given night, Rhys Hoskins would be out. Now, I figured Rob Thompson would give him a nod because let's be realistic. His message is, we want you out there because we trust you. That's why he went to Sosa. This one's sort of crazy. But that final game against the Marlins that they lost, 3-0, when you had the bases loaded with 0 outs, he had a chance at one point to go to, or to stay with Garrett Stubbs instead of going to Sosa. Why does he go to Sosa? Because I think he wants Sosa to have that moment. And it wasn't a putrid at-bat by any means. But what upsets me about that, and I haven't been able to criticize, and I don't want to. I said that sort of like I prefer to do that. I don't prefer to do it. It's just been a really, really long time since a managerial decision was able to get hammered the way that it did. Garrett Stubbs hit that lefty-lefty bomb walk-off earlier in the year against the same exact pitcher. And somehow, some way, Rob Thompson looks in a different direction and says, Sosa, this is your time. I thought it was bizarre. You already seen Stubbs do it. Crazy. I'm bringing that up to you because we now understand that Rob Thompson, he goes off of a feeling of this is your time to shine. This is where we need you. Everyone has a set sort of little run where they do it, where they are the ones that are sparking the team. Bryson Stott delivered big time. This dude's a player, man. And then defensively, Matt Vierling throws out Starling Marte, who's tagging up from third base. And the weird thing about this all, if Kyle Schwarber was available for you, I don't know if his noodle arm gets to play to JT Realmuto. And JT makes the tag. But in the eighth, the Marlins had poor base running, where they were able to get a double play. I thought Keith said the Phillies were the ones that are a disaster in the field, as Alec Boehm makes a one-handed play and an elite throw over to first base. Stellar. I know exactly what this clubhouse did. They listened to that, thought it was garbage, and basically flipped them the double bird. Normally, I'm the one who's getting two birds. Right, I'm the one that's getting flipped off every time I make a statement about a specific player. They come up large. Alec Boehm, I never trusted I never doubted his defense. I always trusted him. They heard it, and they're shoving it right back into the face. Heading into this series, I just wanted to see competitive, solid, structured baseball. You may lose. You're on the road. You're very shorthanded with Bryce out, too. So sometimes it just happens, especially with the way that they've been really succeeding and winning a ton of baseball games. So eventually you might drop a series. But if you give me hard-nosed baseball, leave everything out there, play good, I could sleep at night, especially knowing the Mets are coming to town to Philadelphia in a 4-game set very, very soon. So if, let's just say, you took 1 of 3 in this series, and then you went home and did some good damage, and you went 4-3 in a 7-game set against the Marlins, or not a 7-game set, but 7 games over a bit of a 2-weekend thing, you'd be totally okay with that. At least I know I would be. And I even had a tweet saved in my draft. I'm just telling you my mindset prior to first pitch. And then Ranger Suarez? I knew that he was turning the page. You could tell that he was looking a little bit better. He did grimace, and they showed the replay on Apple TV. After a pitch, you could see that he was feeling discomfort. I still don't know deep down if he's Ranger sub-2 ERA type of guy. But damn it, that was electric. The Phillies were getting to Max Scherzer. You had bases loaded in the second inning after you took a 1-0 lead, and good for Reese. He ends up smacking one really hard to third base, barreled it up, got over for a hit, and I referenced already that they were nervous of that under a different regime at manager. But no, go ahead. Go ahead. I love the approach. I truly, truly do. You could see the way that they are inspired by the buttons the manager pushes. It seems like 99% of them end up working in their favor. I was going somewhere, though, before that. About, the second inning. It was 1-0. Bases loaded. Oh, man. You got to kick him in the teeth. Especially with the Scherzer on the mound. You got to kick him. You saw in the fourth inning, when it was 1-1, they could have done something, didn't. Eighth inning, Castellanos on second base. So just throughout, they were getting there. And let's get to the bullpen. Alvarado. Sir Anthony wore through a little bit and needed some defensive help. Sometimes you have to have your pitchers back, though. And Matty V executed perfectly. Dave Dombrowski acquires David Robertson at the trade deadline. Who thought he was going to get a bullpen piece of that caliber? That's why this guy is a winner. That's why this guy gets labeled as a baseball man, a dude who understands it. And then you're just getting good center field play out of Brandon Marsh. Got after every position of need. That closed the door with a man on second and extras, too. So it's not technically a clean inning there where you can just happily, comfortably start attacking the strike zone. You're up 1, 0 outs. Someone's already on second base. So here's a guy who's done it before, and in this city too. That's not easy. It's not easy to have the backlash of the fan base. Now, he never really failed here in regards to taking the mound and then not succeeding. It's not Brandon Workman coming back. He just wasn't healthy to show how much he can do. Because if you saw his career, you knew that there's dangerous stuff in his repertoire. He just couldn't stay on the field to show us that worth. But he put that all behind him, and he goes out there and slams it, man. Slams it. How is this not incredible? It really is. All the way through. You're seeing the manager really show that he has a big-time grasp on every single individual player. You could have went in so many directions. The safe answer would have been Segura leading off. So you put Segura in there trying to hold your own. No, you think outside the box. You get a bit creative. It might bite you in the rear end like it did with Sosa, and that did. Not that I'm expecting Garrett Stubbs to hit another walk-off home run in the way that he did against the Miami Marlins before. That wasn't the expectation. Garrett Stubbs is Garrett Stubbs. He could have struck out lefty-lefty. More times than not, you're going to strike out lefty-lefty. But for why we loved his decision-making tonight, sometimes it backfires, but it hasn't a lot of the time. And it even juvenates the fans a bit, no? When we saw the lineup, Ricky Bo was ready to run through a damn brick wall. I mean, you should have saw the face that he had. He was ready to go. Stott leading up. There's something about it. It matters. It's energy. You can't touch it. You can't really see it. You can't feel it physically, that is. But it's in the room. And the dude starts off the game with a double. And then Alec Boehm does some stuff. Girardi, I have to admit, would not be playing the young cats the way that it's happening right now. And with these two on the left side of the infield right now, I don't know where you are. Imagine saying that. I'm stunned, really, in disbelief on how quickly we can make a statement like that. But damn it, I'm making a statement like that. All right, we're going to go to the Anytime Hotline and hear from you on this game. Before we do that, if you are looking to buy tickets for any games, all right, the Phillies are hot. You want to go see the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Jimmy Rollins believes more people should be in the stands. Use promo code BROADS at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off of your purchase. That eliminates those fees. And then you also can use that for parking. And use that for beer. So it's a no-brainer to get yourself to a game today. All right, let's hear from you out there on the Anytime Hotline. Here we go. We'll start off with Aiden.
What a game. Kind of funny how Keith Hernandez's own words come back to bite him in the ass this game. Mets can't make fundamental plays. Phillies can. I can't believe we just won that game. We honestly didn't deserve it. When you have Boehm up with the bases loaded, can't convert. Reese up, runners second and third, can't convert. Leave, 9 runners on base this game? We did not deserve to win. But good teams win ugly, and that's exactly what we did today. Let's go. Go Phillies. I have tons of confidence that we can win this series now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's why I was talking about it in the beginning of the show or a little bit earlier in the show. That was my thought process to enter the weekend, and then they take game one the way that they do. Now the expectation with Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola goes tomorrow, but of course they have Jacob deGrom. It's go mode. You better do something. Let's go. Show me this. See, I wouldn't have taken it as this team is overpowered if they lost the series because I don't look at a 3-game sample size, especially without Schwarber and Bryce, and think that tells me everything. Just like losing to the Cubs the way they did doesn't fully tell me who this Philadelphia Phillies team. If they were to take this series, yeah, I would hold it to a higher standard because they did it down a few guys, because they did it without special players that matter so deeply to their culture. But you also have to keep it objective within those feelings. Don't overreact. Yes, but don't overreact if they lose. I wouldn't overreact if they win either. But it tells me a lot about this team if they can win this series. It's the pure form of reality. That's what I'm looking at if they were able to do this. It's the pure form of a serious playoff contender that shows you balls. And we haven't seen balls out of this franchise in way too damn long. I wouldn't look at this as stealing. This isn't stealing a game. No, I thought the Phillies were. This is a coin flip game for sure. This could have went the Mets' way. The same exact game played out. It could have easily went to the Mets. If the Phillies lost this game, are we freaking out crying? No, the Mets shouldn't be freaking out and crying either. It's a coin flip game. It happens a lot in a long ass season. But this isn't a description of, ooh, they shouldn't have won. They played a damn good baseball game today. It was tough, hard-nosed, 1-1. Who's going to make the difference-making plays? Well, the Mets seem to have mental breakdowns, specifically on the base paths in the eighth. The Phillies couldn't get timely hits, but against Max Scherzer, constantly getting on base and constantly having them play with fire on the defensive side of the diamond? How many times do you see Max Scherzer allow 9 hits in his 7 innings pitched? So I'm looking at this all as a positive. This wasn't a squeeze by. This wasn't the grit of the team, even with the Matt Vierling play. This was the Phillies playing a good baseball game. And it was toe-to-toe throughout. Who made that extra leap at the finish line? Who made that extra little push? Sticking your neck out, the tip of the nose crosses the line and breaks the ribbon. I don't like that viewpoint, Aiden. And you're a good caller. And I love your support. And I love how much you enjoy the show. But I don't see it the same exact way as you. Not on this one. All right, let's take another call here. Here we go.
I mean, wow, man. You know, going out there, taking this game from the Mets at home, at Citi Field, it's a great feeling. Like, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. Max Scherzer went out there tonight like he thought Citi Field, the energy. I'm watching on Apple TV, man. I wish I could have heard Crux screaming tonight, T-Mac. The booth would have been awesome to hear tonight, man. And it's a shame that this Apple TV crap is going on right now. But, hey, a win is a win, and I'm stoked. Energy through the roof. This team, they're loving it. These guys are red hot. They don't give a damn about the Mets winning streak. They don't care. It's not about the winning streak. We wanted it more tonight, obviously. I mean, Bryson Stott, heck of a game. David Robertson, way to close the door. Big shout-out Ranger Suarez, man. Going into tonight, I thought for sure he's getting out-dueled.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would imagine that a guy going up against Max Scherzer, no matter who you are, that is going to be the hardest mental battle throughout the entire 9 innings. But they get to him sometimes. It's not impossible to get the Max Scherzer. They've seen him a lot. They've seen him when he was in Washington. They've seen him here with the Mets. So it is an opponent that you do see. And no matter how much of a talent you are, when you constantly see the same pitchers, you have a little more to work with compared to, let's say, the Oakland A's come to town or the Tampa Bay Rays are in town, and it's somebody brand new that maybe you've seen once in your career or you've seen 0 times, and you're just going off of film and studying his percentages of the pitches on certain counts. So there is something to be said about having a little more knowledge on the dude. But yeah, I'm impressed by Ranger Suarez. I would say if I'm making a list, Ranger is up there with 1A and Bryson Stott with 1B. His numbers aren't flashy, and they don't look at you right in the eyeballs and scream that the dude is a firepower right now or just a beast of energy. But he is. His glove's excellent. His batting average, he comes up with big hits. His batting average will continue to rise. It'll find a comfort zone. I don't know if we'll get to the 250 territory or anything like that this season, but he's currently at what? Maybe 2-0. Oh, I have it right in front of me actually here with the batting order, which it's so nice to see him up there. He's at 219. There were times I remember looking 189, 187, flirting in that 180 range. But the dude is a big ball of confidence. And you could tell it's not just Schwarber, who is the vocal leader, or Reese, who is a vocal leader. But there's something to be said about sometimes veterans get a new sense of life when someone unexpected starts going off. And maybe it's unfair to say unexpected because Bryson Stott is a respected prospect, or was a respected prospect that this franchise eventually figured would be a face and someone that you heavily rely on and you look at to do big things. But when you see him do it as often as he does it, as cool as he does it, the swag when he does it, the poise when he's up at the batter's box, and the way that he looks like, I'm going to have a big day. I'm going to have a great at-bat. I'm going to see a lot of pitches. I'm going to make this pitcher earn it, and then eventually gets on base with maybe a single, utilizing the field however he needs to get it done. And then he looks into the dugout and does a signal, or you see his flow going in the wind. How many times have we seen someone do a solid play out there? Don't know why that sentence sounded so weird and awkward. But when they make a play, or when they cross home plate, or when they go first to third, the hand motions, the screaming, the dugout all the way up at the top. The guys are at the top steps of the dugout, losing their damn mind. They're a bunch of killers on the diamond. And that grew over time. It's a long journey. I always told everyone there would be a lot of ups and downs. And by no means did I expect them to have the ups that they have had. This level of ups, no. I didn't think that I would feel this great about this team in the middle of August. Everyone's freaking out when they lose in May, April, June. They stink. They don't. They do not stink. They have talents. They have individuals who can seriously play the game. Let them get in the sync. Let them get in the groove. And Joe Girardi getting canned, the eye-opening experience, the look in the mirror mode, flip the script, just like the Braves did, just like the Nationals did. I'm not claiming the end goal is the same. I'm saying that this roster, this is attitude. We thought that there would be a relationship between the city and the team at one point. When they made the moves to sign the big guys that they did, there's a cockiness and an arrogance about them, but a good one. I laugh because Mets fans, every time you bring something up like that with how the Phillies are playing, you get this response. Shut up. Who do you think you are? The Phillies are nothing but losers. They collapse. And then I go, well, isn't that kind of strange? What do the Mets do? I don't think this Mets team is the same Mets teams from the past. I don't. There is more cohesiveness there. There is more legit play from them. Same with the Phils, though. How ironic that people up in New York and Queens think that we can't look at our team with a set of eyeballs with hard eye emojis, enjoying their presence and embracing the brand that they play, because there's been many of seasons where the Phillies just fall apart terribly. Yet your team isn't known to do that. Yet you haven't seen bad Septembers and bad 30 games to end a year? Please. What a joke. All right, back to the Anytime Hotline we go.
Well, I mean, that's about an electric.
We're going to go to a different caller because that is not something that my ears can handle, unfortunately. Here we go. New call.
What's up, Hunter? I want to be very blunt and come out of the gate swinging with fuck the Mets. Great first win of the series by the Phillies. How about Ranger Suarez, man? He came to play. You needed him to come to play, and he sure as hell came to play. What a gritty win by this team. manufacturing that run in the ninth inning, and David Robertson coming in and shutting it down the ninth. Wow, man, this is a great first win of this series, and setting us up really well to win the series in the next 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking this one step at a time, right? This team, the Mets, they definitely are capable of winning 2 baseball games in a row. So I'm taking it one at a time, and DeGrom's on the mound. Now, initially, I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. That guy means business, and you're going to see 101, 102, 101, 172 miles per hour, pitch after pitch after pitch with the way that this guy throws the baseball. He just took down Max Scherzer. 2 ways to look at it. If you could take down Max, you could take down DeGrom. Or what are the odds you take down both of them? Seems minor, seems minuscule. And who is Aaron Nola? Forget that, because you can't control Jacob DeGrom. That's something that he's going to do what he does. Does Aaron Nola compete, though? That's what I'm studying. Is Aaron Nola going to go 7, 2 earned run ball, 7, 3 earned run ball, or 5 2/3, allowing 4 earned runs? Because the way Ranger threw, if the Phillies lost, you go, wow. I mean, he gave you every possibility of winning that game. Your offense just needed more of a timely hit throughout in a couple different innings. Is Aaron Nola going to satisfy us? Because the remarks every single late August, mid-August, September, is his body going to hold up? Is his mind going to hold up? My personal opinion? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Every part of this team has proven to me their mental makeup is not the same as it was. And I'm going to say the same about Aaron Nola until proven otherwise. Normally it's, I won't believe you until you show me. Now, though, with this team specifically, I'm going to trust you because you've given me every reason to give you a pass. It's a whole trust thing. If you're going to fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on me. I screwed that up somewhere, so I just kind of went with it. It's a position right now for me where you showed me enough. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. So I want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me tonight. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I really enjoy your anytime hotline calls, so make sure after every game you call 856-442-9805 and leave your reactions after every single game. People are talking about the pitch count for Jacob DeGrom. We'll see how it all plays for the Mets and the Phils tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you